And now, here are your hosts, the Schnitzel Boys.
Let's talk about that. I want to talk about NYC. I have two things. One is that,
Okay.
and then two is something I saw in the Bronx Weekly paper. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The Bronx Monthly.
Okay.
The Bronx BID, the Business Improvement District, which is
Okay.
a thing. When I used to live in Sunset Park, it's called Sunset Park BID. I think it's like
Right.
a struggling county, probably has tax incentives to incentivize businesses to show. I think, probably. If I had to guess what a BID is, it's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Bronx BID bought a full page ad in the Bronx newspaper, the Bronx
Oh
Monthly, or
yeah. I
whatever.
did see this.
And then they put an appeal to Sheikh Mansour in Abu Dhabi or wherever he lives, and they're like, "Please, Sheikh Mansour, we just won the cup. We need you to build a stadium here. We haven't heard anything from you in forever," or something. It was the Bronx County government writing a full page ad in the newspaper appealing to Sheikh Mansour to build a stadium in the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very confused by this.
Okay.
I thought they've been bending over backwards to build a stadium in the Bronx, but the people that have been dragging their feet has been the government. Am I wrong to think that?
It's very confused. It's a very confusing situation, which I would be happy to unpack for you if if you want to spend the time. It's
Real quick.
yeah, okay, quick.
So is Sheikh? Maybe just boil it down for me. Just we'll spend 4 minutes on it.
I don't know if
because
it's
Miami kind of had the same criticism where it's like you read all these articles, can't find blah blah blah, and then like the mayor or someone came out being like, the Miami folks haven't talked to us in a year. You know what I mean? They're just like, we're hearing nothing from them, so we don't know. And that's very surprising. This almost seems like NYC, the New York City or Bronx, because remember the Bronx borough president was all gung ho
yeah.
here a couple years ago, and now this local Bronx
Right.
council is like, what's the holdup? Let's go, and you know what I mean? So who's
Well, the
doing
whole
what here? Who's not talking to who?
there are the I think if you want to make it short, the short version, and this is I would call this educated speculation on my part, is the Yankees that are the problem. The Yankees have I think this project was close to being approved. This is a bigger development in the Bronx, near Yankee Stadium, kind of close to the highway. And it was a bigger project that included the stadium, affordable housing, like a multi-billion-dollar huge thing that was sort of, they were saying, was transformative for that part of the. And there's a lot of moving parts. There's a stapler factory that needed to move. There's a parking garage. Yeah, that's right. And there's a parking garage. This is kind of the sticking point. This will take forever to unpack, but there's a parking garage that owes money to the city, and that would have been needed to be taken down, and the city would then lose some money. So there was some negotiation. The community board was supposed to approve this new deal in which the team would take over this garage, and then it would be able to be torn down. And there was a sticking point that the Yankees were concerned that there would be not enough parking spots left. And then it became this very sort of tedious disagreement with the city about guaranteed parking spots.
I've read all that. But
and
then
what the
it
number
brings
is
my
and
original
what
question.
What's the problem?
What's Sheikh Mansour's responsibility and all that? The letters
Sheikh
to Sheikh Mansour.
I don't know what Sheikh Mansour's responsibility is.
The
holdup. I don't think they should have.
I
think they should have written a letter to Randy Levine and Eric Adams. I think at some point also the problem became that I think it's a accumulation of things. I think the Yankees slowed things down when things needed to move fast because of this parking issue. Then it also became a problem that the administration was turning over here in New York. We were getting a new mayor, and so then the people were all kind of lame duck administrators. And so it just couldn't get done. And I think then there was an effort made by the Yankees to kind of spin this. Randy Levine then gave interviews kind of with Ian Joy saying like, well, it's really the ball's in the city's court. And if they want to make it happen, they should. then the team kind of went on record saying, well, we maybe put our eggs in one basket. That might have been a mistake. They're now floating this idea of a stadium in Queens. So we won't really know what all this means until it shakes out. Is this just a negotiation ploy? Is this Bronx project was so far advanced that a lot of people seemed to think that it was kind of inevitable that it would happen. And that may still be the case. Yeah, I see you yawning, and it is boring as fuck, this whole situation.
I'm all about it. Sorry. I'm just like a little tired. I'm a weird schedule in general, so I yawn at weird times because my body's all over the place.
It's fine. It is boring. I have.
For those of you home, I have to work at 11 o'clock tonight through to 7 a.m. in the morning. This is the very beginning. Like I have to do editing.
You just woke up.
Then I have to go. Yeah. Anyway,
no, please, no. Yawn as much as you want. That's not what I'm just saying. It's so tedious, and there are people on Twitter who really dig into this stuff, and they should just build it. But I mean, this letter is just another piece of weirdness, like you're saying. It's like Sheikh Mansour is the problem.
Like, break it down for me. Like it did. I assume the same thing. Yankees are dragging their feet because they don't really care. They really just care about themselves, which is their prerogative. And then you have this endless billionaire, trillionaire up in the UAE. So it's not a money thing. The money's there.
Yeah.
And then you have a full-time office dedicated to the stadium. They've had that for years now. I think you hired someone specifically to run the stadium
should make it happen. Right.
And and it's New York. New York is crazy.
Everything's
there's nothing
difficult,
crazier than getting something done in New York. I'll tell you that. Like the NFL has never been able to successfully build a stadium in Manhattan. The NFL. Yeah. And they're the most powerful sports league probably in America. And but that's why I see this. I'm just like, wait a minute. The government is writing to NYCFC to get this done? That's why I'm a little confused. Because I thought it was like NYCFC trying to get the.
But the BID is not the government, though, right? Are they? They're like.
Is it? What is the?
I think
Business Improvement District is something. I mean, it's local city council. It's got to be here. Hold on. New York City BID.
I don't think it's the. I mean, it's like everything. It's sort of once it becomes public, these things then become, people want to save face, and I still hope.
Real quick, I'm on the New York City government website. What BIDs do? BIDs create vibrant, clean, and safe districts that deliver services improvements above and beyond those typically provided by the city. These services can include street cleaning, public safety, and hospitality, marketing, and events. So I guess it's an extra office to help with businesses in certain areas.
But I think it's a private organization that then gets some funding.
You're right.
And,
a business improvement district is a geographical area where local stakeholders oversee and fund the maintenance, improvement, promotion of the commercial district. So it is their commercial district, but I guess it's local business. It's an organization of local businesses that oversee that. I guess.
And so I think from their perspective, it's now also putting more pressure on the city or whoever else is involved to make this happen, which it still could, and I hope that it will, and then we can all
My adjustment
talk about
would be the
something else.
BED doesn't need to write to Sheikh Mansour. The BID needs to write that open letter to the Yankees. Like, it's in the Bronx paper. Like, maybe they did, maybe they knew that, but they didn't. They're so afraid of the Yankees, which are probably one of the most powerful organizations in the Bronx in general, to maybe they didn't want to offend them. Maybe they wanted, maybe this is like a ploy. It was like a creative ploy for them to get the Yankees to read it, even though, you know what I mean? It's not like Sheikh Mansour has a subscription to the Bronx monthly paper.
He's probably not going to become aware of this. Yeah, I would agree.
Never. Unless he saw it on Twitter like I did. Then sure. I'm sure.
I'm just happy to see that there's any kind of movement or momentum. I think if it doesn't happen now, after we won MLS Cup, we have a new mayor who has said that he's in favor in theory.
Stadium.
And Eric Adams.
Eric Adams, got it. What a generic name. Eric Adams.
And
more power to America.
He's get stuff done. That's his slogan. He that's what he keeps tweeting about. And I keep every time on Twitter he says, "Oh, I'm going here or there to hashtag get stuff done." I reply and I say, "Let's get that stadium done." Eric
reply
Adams, and he does
Does
not.
his
No,
intern who runs the thing?
shockingly, I'm just being ignored by.
He's like, I might want to see Mayor Eric Adams.
Maybe
Get her
next-
done.
Maybe
He's running around in
next
tractor
week,
and
and maybe now that I don't have to worry about Jimmy Sands anymore, we've decided maybe next week I will camp out outside of City Hall and see if I can't make this happen.
Power of the man, like they did in the '60s. They did in the '60s, man.
I'm gonna chain myself to his
Chain
office
yourself.
door.
For Occupy Wall Street, but it's Occupy
Stadium.
the stadium blocks. Like this
Stadium.
You
We
should
need
tie
a
yourself to a
cashier.
block
Yeah.
across the street from Yankee Stadium with a sign and be like, I will
like,
not eat until a soccer stadium is
I will
built."
not move until I'm replaced by a stadium.
I will
the
not move
only
until I
way-
have physically been replaced by
By
a
a
soccer, by a good
soccer.
30,000 seater soccer youth stadium.
That's right. That's the only way you will get me to
With
leave.
natural grass, no turf, natural grass,
Natural gas.
gas and natural grass.
I will be having gas while there. But anyway.
you eat every night. Like, how has that guy been alive for 2 years? And then there's a expose where they see you sneaking in candy every night or something. Like someone feeds you. You gotta get fed. Yeah, it comes from your cheeks or something. But you'd be a hero if you got that done. You'd be a hero. All right, so that's the stadium deep dive. That was just a Schnitzel Boys video on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. If you like that one, we've got a couple other ones right over here. And if you like that one, don't be afraid to subscribe, like, and ring that bell.
It's the Schnitzel Boys, it's the Schnitzel Boys, it's the Schnitzel Boys.